Please introduce yourself.
My name is Michael Boston. I'm the president and CEO of the National Owner Operators Association. We are a trucking business association. We help owner operators run their businesses better.
Yeah.
We offer a number of different services, from compliance to insurance, 24/7 roadside, broker services, dispatcher services, broker fraud division, corporate debt collection. We have a fuel card program. We've got the NOAA branded fuel card with our partnership with MS Fuel Cards. So we've got an actual NOAA fuel card with great nationwide discounts all across the country. We've got a tire program that comes with that fuel card, which gets you up to 50% off on tires. Nationwide preventative maintenance services.
Man, it sounds like, man, you got it all, bro.
Yeah, well, we're trying. We also have we have an office in Washington where we advocate. We do advocacy out of there. We have our own lobbying department. And we are actively talking to congressmen and senators and government agencies involving trucking on pretty much a daily basis.
Hey, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, usually when I'm on a channel, they want to talk about what's going on with the weather, and they want to talk about, maybe a couple things that really don't move the needle. Me and my brother here, we're at the Florida Trucking Show. We have an opportunity to talk about some real stuff for once, so let's definitely talk about it, man. Like, the industry is definitely not in a great place, and owner-operators are suffering. And what you honestly think we need to do as a whole to really get the industry back up? You know what I mean? When you look at, like, Teamsters and Sean O'Brien and all these guys, when they talk about, like, putting on a strike, people get nervous because, like, they really will strike. What's keeping it from truckers, and owner-operators really sticking together to, get the rates back up, man? I mean, insurance is high, fuel is high. People are going broke out here.
That's an excellent question, man. And, I'm glad you asked that. Sean O'Brien and the Teamsters are great. We respect Sean O'Brien, and we respect and support the Teamsters. As you know, we are an association. We cannot be a union because we're companies, and only two human beings can create a union. But in the beginning of this, we did work with them and others, and they helped us create our roadmap to become the National Owner Operators Association. And the union model is it is the perfect model for situations like this. And people, you're right, people know that if they have to, they will strike. But because of the way our supply chain is made up with the Motor Carrier Act of 1980, it's basically strike proof. You know what I mean? So because there's no barrier to entry here, that's all been taken away, and anyone who is able could go out and pay $300, get an authority, buy a truck, and get on the road. And these people will, if we as a unit say, we're not going to take loads to New York, or we're not going to take loads to, I think, Utah, or whatever. There's 1,000 other guys that'll come in and do it anyway. So who's getting hurt? Where's the strength? The unity is not there.
And so, one question I get a lot, right? And it's a great time to talk about this, is they go, Alex, man, I feel like you don't talk enough about broker transparency and the fight with that. I probably made about 30 videos about it. You know what I'm saying? But, what's going on with that right now? And I know that's a big one, because when I get someone from NOA, they go, Alex, can we talk more about that broker transparency?
Yeah. Well, 49 CFR 371.3 is like, honestly, they're like, oh, we'll enforce it here, but we won't enforce it there.
What's taking so long on them just to like show? I mean, in every other business, real estate, I mean, anything, right? Show me the money. So just show me what I'm really making, right?
It's weird. You're totally right. It's weird. We've pretty much talked to everyone in Congress. I mean, we our lobbyists lobby it. If you're looking for lobbyists, lobby it. Our lobbyists are, they're beasts. They're there making phone calls, sending emails. They're in the halls. They're leaving literature behind. They're talking about 49 CFR 371.3 pretty much daily. And, we've talked to everyone on the Transportation Infrastructure Committees in the House and the Senate. Some of them are not speaking to us, but we've talked to most of them. And, it's sad. We had a meeting with the SBA, the Small Business Administration. We had a meeting with one of the higher ups there, Chief Legal Counsel, and even he said it. He said 49 CFR 371.3 was put there for you guys to be able to pretty much regulate yourselves. It was a way for the market to regulate itself. Right. And if it's not being enforced, then there is a breakdown in the system. And we need to figure out what's going on. And truthfully, I've had a personal conversation with Pete Buttigieg down in Washington.
Oh, you did?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Does he care or not care, man? Or does he even know what's going on with us? Real talk.
I'm going to say something, and I know I'm going to get hate.
No, we just keep it in real here.
Pete Buttigieg is actually a good guy.
Really?
Yeah, I met him personally. He's actually a nice guy. And I believe in his heart he wants to do the right thing.
But there's just too many Indians or too many chiefs or what?
This is the government, and it's like, I believe that, it's just getting lost in the sauce, man. Somewhere along the line, the message is not getting through.
Well,
that's what I believe.
Let me counter that and get some hate too. I like it when he goes out and says, "Man, we just got $100 million for more truck parking," and I seen him do that. And you don't have to agree with everything he does, but when a dude says he gets more truck parking, you're supposed to congratulate that. But then I'll read the comments and be like, "Oh my God, they just got $300 million worth of truck parking," and then people in the comments are like, "Man, Alex, that's like 5 parking spots." Like people are still hating. You know what I mean?
Yo, this is the government, man.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bureaucracy. Like I on that point, I was talking to I don't remember the senator's name. Actually, it was Mike Boss's office.
Yeah.
It was Mike Boss's office, and I brought up truck parking to them, and they were like, "You lucky we got what we got." He said, I swear, he said if we would have asked for $1 more, they would have pulled the whole thing. I said, really? I mean, because I said the same thing, like, yo, that's just not enough. And he said, listen, he was very firm in his response. He said, if we would have asked for $1 more, we would have gotten nothing. So
really?
That's pretty much the best we can do.
Man, and with him, I respect him for talking about wanting more truck parking. And I know he said his family got a trucking business on that. Yeah. But who the hell is telling this dude that there's a trucker shortage? Because every time I seen a video, look, I like him because he's fighting for truckers. But the ATA or somebody keeps on saying that there's a trucker shortage in. I mean, I truly believe, I don't know how you feel, but I feel like it's just a shortage of pay, man. There's Walmart over here today, but I don't think anyone's worried about 120,000. I don't think they really got a problem finding drivers.
Good, right?
Wait, when you're making 100,000, look, slip seating, I ain't sponsored by nobody, but slip seating sucks. But man, for $100,000 in a bad market, I don't think they're hurting for drivers.
They look good. I went over and told. I was like, "Yo, can I get a job?"
Shoot.
I was like, "How do I get in with you guys?" Like, they look good. They got on those white shirts and they all clean. And
hey, I'll tell you this
truck
much.
drivers. I'm like, damn, y'all look like executives.
Yeah, I'll tell you this though. It's a weird time because company drivers are making more than owner operators right now.
But it's been like that before.
It has.
Like, you've been here for a while. I've been here for a while. We understand downturns in the market. Markets run out of steam and things get slow. But we have to do more to protect people when that happens, and that's all we're saying. And we're not asking for money. We're not asking for a handout. We're asking for them to just do their jobs.
Right.
49 CFR 371.3 is not a suggestion. It is a rule,
That's right.
they are bound to enforce it, and they are refusing to. For Renee Hutchinson to come out and say, you know what, we're not going to do anything on 49 CFR 371.3 until October 2024. I mean, seriously? Like, that's a middle finger in every owner-operator's face all across the country.
Well, I ain't saying Hutchinson was shady, but something happened to her and she got kicked out. Now that lady, she got this crazy name. Her name's Sue Lawless.
Sue Lawless, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I can never make no one happy. I had the tow truck drivers hating on me now, because she wanted to do a thing where when a truck driver is about to get towed, she wanted the driver to be able to see the bill up front, because every time they said, don't worry about it, that tow bill is like 50, 60,000. It's like some crazy number. And so
it's bad, man.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. The tow situation is out of control.
Yeah. And not all y'all bad. I mean, right?
Nah. But we broke. Definitely, look, people have a habit of saying everybody. Just like not all brokers are bad, not all carriers are bad. Not all tow truck companies are bad. But when you do run into a bad one, oh my goodness. We ran into a situation down in Atlanta with this tow truck company, and if we wouldn't have gotten involved, it was crazy. Like, they were like, when they found out when I called them personally, they were like, we'll call you back. And then they called me back and they were like, yo, we gonna give everybody their trucks back. They gave back money. They were like, look, just come. If your truck, let everybody know if they truck got towed by us, they can come get it. We don't want no money. We just don't want no problems. Because I threatened to contact Mike Collins of Georgia.
Yeah.
Because I know Mike Collins. I met Mike Collins when I was down in Washington. Mike Collins, by the way, is a cool dude.
He's a savage.
And he owns a trucking company.
Yeah, he's real.
Yeah.
I heard he's real.
So I told the tow truck company, I said, yo, man, if you don't release those trucks, I'm gonna contact Mike Collins.
Hey, they
released the truck.
Hey, see, no.
Dudes was calling me up and said, yo, Mike, they gave me back my truck. He said, yo, just go get the keys. They right there. I was like, yeah, man. Look, that's really that's the purpose of NOAA. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, I was gonna just
we
ask
don't
you
hate
that.
brokers.
Yeah,
I
was
want
gonna
that
ask
to
you that.
stop. Like, we don't hate brokers. We brokers perform a necessary function in this industry. But everyone needs to be regulated, not just truckers.
No,
everyone.
I agree. And to
we don't want. I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
We don't want to cap on brokers. We want the rules that are in place enforced, and we believe the market will regulate itself.
But some drivers gonna be a little bit mad about you saying that, though.
I'm mad they don't got Sunkist orange soda over here.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
No,
but I got to deal with that. You know what I mean?
No, I understand.
Look, you got to start somewhere, and to ask for a cap, I believe is.
Just too much.
Reaching. You know what I mean? You're going to get pushback from TIA and all the other broker associations, and they have massive power.
Oh,
you're never going to get that passed.
No, I agree.
So you need to. 49 CFR 371.3 is already there.
So we just trying to fight something that's already there. It's hard enough to get that right. And let's be honest, man. If we talk in entrepreneurship, because look, everyone that's in trucking is an entrepreneur on some shape or form. Let's be honest here. If you're a shipper yourself, I mean, let's pretend and let's role play a little bit. And you got 500 truck drivers calling you a day. Do you got time to work with 500 truck drivers, or do you want to work with one person? And that's really what happens. Is we're in a position now where if you're Walmart, you could get a little bit better deal if you go direct, but you got to talk to 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 truck drivers a day. You're not going to do that. You'd rather talk to 50 of them, 50 people.
Of course.
And so, like you said, there is a role that brokers play. Now, the ones that are doing the BS, they need to stop, and the carriers that are doing the BS need to stop.
Without a doubt.
Both sides.
Listen, We're not giving no passes to carriers. You know, carriers. When we started, before Noah started, we started with a Facebook group, and that Facebook group was dedicated to fighting carrier fraud. Yeah, that's how we started the Facebook group. That was the foundation of Noah. Our first priority, how we started, we didn't even think about brokers. We were cool with brokers. Our thing was carrier fraud, because the carrier fraud with the lease agreements and all the shenanigans that they play with owner-operators, playing around with money and stuff like that, that we felt that was even more egregious than the brokers. The broker thing came later on. When the market started to go down early 2023, we started to notice that even though brokers were offering low rates, shippers weren't lowering rate. Their prices were still the same. Exactly. They were still offering loads for the same high prices. Yeah, no, rates. And the brokers were just like, yo, the market's going down. It's time for a cash grab. Who gives them that power?
Well, it's crazy too. Is like, and I understand people got to feed their family, but when you're I think there needs to be more education out there too.
Absolutely.
Because there are carriers and owner operators out there that don't even know they're running at a loss. Like, why are you doing this for free? And you don't know because you see a gross number, but that gross number might say $16,000, but that don't mean anything if there's 34 stops and it costs you $20,000 to do all 34 stops.
Alex, you're totally right. But here's the thing. Who's responsible for that education? Who's responsible for that training? Yeah. Who gave you your authority?
Ooh. Okay.
The regulator.
That's right.
The regulator is dropping the ball at every stop. We've been looking into this over, and the regulator is dropping the ball at every stop, brother. And we speak to them directly. We have a direct open line of communication with the FMCSA. I have personal cell phone numbers. They are dropping the ball at every turn.
So since you have the line to the FMCSA, what do they care about trucking, honestly?
They care about regulating you. Ooh. They care about regulating them.
Yep, the trucks.
If it doesn't have anything to do
with the EPA
safety,
or
all of that, this is their primary function, making your life a living hell under the guise of safety. That is what they do. And they got a booth here right now. They got a guy manning it. His business card says marketing, head of marketing. The FMCSA has a booth right here. His name is Frank, and it says head of marketing services.
And would he ever get on? But here's the thing: would he ever even get on a show like this and do that?
He can. He has nothing to say to you. He's the head of marketing. Yeah. But they won't get the head of compliance.
Oh, hell no.
They won't get Sue Lawless.
Oh, hey, get Sue Lawless out here, man.
Yeah, they won't do that.
Hey, we're gonna have a conversation
because they don't want to answer the questions about 49 CFR 371.3.
Now
they playing that game.
Now there's another one. People really don't know how deep pockets these people really have. You know, I mean, if we're having a real conversation here, you know, why are they regulating? Why? Because the big fleets, the big mega carriers, they want to save money, and because they have so many trucks, they want a speed limiter, so they drive slower, so they save fuel. Because for one truck, that ain't nothing, but when you got 20,000 trucks, that means something. And your insurance go down. So now if an owner-operator could go 75 and you stuck at going 63, you have an advantage. They don't want you to have that advantage. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know.
At least you said it. You know what I mean? If I'd have said it, I'd have probably had I don't know what would have happened to me, but at least you said it. Look, it's true, man. You know, the big fleets have a lot of power because they have a lot of, they have influence. You know, they have the ATA, they've got even the brokers, they got TIA, these big, the ATA, I believe the ATA is almost 100 years old, man. The ATA is the largest, oldest trucking association in this country. They've seen every president since probably FDR. And they have massive amounts of influence in Washington.
Hey, and people are going to hate me on this one because I tried to reach out to the ATA and go, why you always talk about a trucker shortage? And one of their guys actually said, I'm willing, he's on their board or something like that. I don't want to drop names yet, but he was like, I'm willing to talk to you, Alex, and actually no. Well, we don't think there's a trucker shortage. They're actually getting the information wrong. Now, I'm like, are you sure? Because everybody keep on saying ATA. And I go, I heard you guys. I told him straight up. I was like, off record. I was like, I heard you guys don't care about small owner operators, just big fleets. And he said he on the board, and he got only less than 20 trucks. So he said, "Are you sure?" So I go, "Wait a minute. I'm gonna wait for this interview to come out, and I'm gonna try and get some understanding." You know, I mean, I think it's great that me and him could get together here because I think a lot of people have a lot of miscommunication about yours and I's like friendship, because every time we actually talk, we actually have a good conversation.
You know,
you know what I'm talking about?
You know, we talked for a long time before we did this show, and you know, it's weird. Like, people make their own assumptions, or they want to, you know, they want the situation to be what they want it to be.
Yeah.
But the truth is that we are friends, and we always been friends. And without you, there would be no Noah. You know what I mean? And you know, we'll always love you for that, and we'll always respect you for that. Do misunderstandings happen from time to time? This is life. This is the real world. Misunderstandings happen. Sometimes I see something and I want to come to you and say, yeah, listen, we'd like you to focus on this issue. But I understand, you know, you getting bombarded by that from thousands of other people. You can't just drop what you're doing to focus on a Noah issue. You know, there's other issues out there that need
but I don't even want to. I don't want to even say it like that. It's just.
It's not like, you know.
I know what you're saying.
You know, and people need to understand that we can't do that. You know, we have to. There's so many issues in trucking, Alex.
Yeah.
No one can cover them all.
Yeah, it's hard. No, I think
we'd love for you to be superhuman and cover every issue under the sun.
Yeah.
But it's not possible. There's too many issues, and this is not your place to say. It is Congress's place to deal with these issues, and they are refusing to.
And to be honest, like you kind of taken that ball, and you actually know more of it, because I don't got no direct line to FMCSA.
It doesn't matter. When I call them, it's like, well, we don't know what to do with that. You know what I mean?
Damn.
I mean, seriously. I had a guy. He picked up a load really quickly. He picked up a load.
Yeah.
This was a few months ago. He picked up a load. He was leased onto this carrier. I'm not going to say who they are. I'll just say they were not really American. And he leased onto this carrier, and they sent him to pick up a load. They told him when he checked in to give a different name than his. Okay, cool. That's suspicious, but okay. So he did it. He picks up the load, and he's driving, and he notices he's being followed.
That's sketchy.
He pulls over to the truck stop. He sees a white car. Two people get out. They're walking around the truck. He goes inside. He comes out. They go away, get in their car. He jumps in his truck. He starts driving on. They get in the white car, continuing to follow him. He does this multiple times until he gets almost to the drop. Calls me up. Tells me the story. He doesn't know what to do. I don't know what the hell to do. I said, let me call the FMCSA, the regulator. Called him up, told him the story. Says, I'll call you back. Calls me back like 30 minutes later. He says, I don't know what to do.
Damn.
Call the cops.
Call the cops, they say.
This is the regulator. He doesn't know what to do. And we hear this all the time. We have a problem. Uber Freight. I'm going to throw this name out there. I have multiple issues with Uber Freight. Not wanting to pay carriers, not wanting to comply with 49 CFR 371.3. We advocated to the FMCSA for a member because Uber Freight owes this member $10,000 and refuses to pay them. Same thing. We contact the FMCSA, they call Uber Freight, they yell, they scream a little bit,
Nothing.
blah, blah, blah. Nothing. Now they're ghosting us. They're not picking up the phone. The supervisor at the FMCSA. This is the frustration we deal with on a daily basis.
So why? So is it just like that? Is it a PR stunt when they say like, oh, we want a public comment on this before we make a decision? They already made their decision, right?
Yeah, I feel they already made their decision. Unless you see something like what we did last spring when they say they want, comments on it, and our membership just bombards them with comments. You know what I mean? Then, you might see them temporarily, like they quickly came out and said, oh, we'll get a decision in June. And then they kicked the can down the road until the spring. And then in the spring they said, next year, it's not that important. But you know what we find important, and this is a new one? The leasing task force. That's important, they say. You know what I mean? Like regulating private contracts between two individuals all across the country, which, by the way, is not a rule right now. It's what is there to regulate? There's no rule. That is more important than a rule that's been on the books for 44 years. 49 CFR 371.3. So they want to have this leasing task force go after lease agreements that is really none of their business, and commit so much resources to that, but will not commit any resources to enforce a rule that's been on the books for almost a half a century.
What's crazy about that one, I got an interview coming up where I have inside information. We'll see if it's real or not. So for now, I'll use the word alleged so I don't get sued. But
smart.
They're saying that one of the people that are on the lease fraud task force or whatever stuff, he's actually one of them that has a predatory lease program himself.
You don't have to tell me, and I know exactly who you're talking about. You don't even have to say. I'm not gonna say his.
Yeah, we don't gotta say no names.
Name,
I'm
we
don't know
I'm
his,
not surprised.
her, or what's name. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
And allegedly, I heard this from a neighbor that don't know nothing about trucking. So, there we go, right? But there's a lot of ring around the rosy type of stuff when it comes to this. And the truth is, at this point, it's sad because, man, it feels like the race to the bottom. If a guy has his morals and doesn't take the cheap freight, another dude that doesn't have morals or is uneducated will. And it's just becoming a crazy thing. We got to find a way to unite or educate or do something. And
the process is flawed. And it's built for that type of what you just explained. If the broker can't find a guy who has no idea what his rate per mile is, he'll reach out to a dispatcher that can find someone who can do it.
Well,
who can find that person.
Let's just say let's talk some entrepreneurship for a second. All right, and people might get mad about this, but if you're a broker and the whole thing is about you making more money than making less money, then if you give someone less money and they take it, you just made more money. So why wouldn't the broker take less? You know what I mean? Why would the broker not take more money?
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're talking just straight capitalism, if I'm selling you my car and you telling me, hey man, I'm like, hey bro, the car's $80,000. You know damn well it ain't $80,000. But if you're gonna give me $80,000,
why wouldn't you take it?
Why wouldn't you take it? Like, it's human behavior, right? So The only thing we can do is at the very end, if the load don't pay and pay you enough to run your truck, don't take the load. And if every driver actually did that, rates would start going back up slowly.
Once again, though, because of the way the Motor Carrier Act of 1980 is structured and written, it doesn't matter. Anyone can take the load. So if you get 10 guys to tell a broker, F you, I'm not taking that load, he only needs one guy to say, yes, I will.
I know.
And that guy is out there because of this act.
And
what we need is to have that act either repealed or replaced. And the new act to say that can't happen. There has to be a level where that truck makes a profit. This truck makes a profit. And it is in the original act. But once again, the original regulator, the ICC, is not there.
Yep.
So they played the tricky game. Let's get rid of the regulator who is listed in that act to be the regulator to enforce that rule. And let's get a regulator in there that is only focused on safety, not financial matters.
Hey, but that's the thing. It's like, all the truck drivers listening to this, pay attention, right? We're all frustrated and go, this is the number one question that every truck driver probably always says. Why is the head of FMCSA never a truck driver and doesn't know anything about trucking, because the people that lobby that person to be in there, they don't want to know about trucking. You know what they want them to know? Whatever they tell them, they'll do.
Right.
I mean, they want a sheep, bro.
And you know, on that point, we have proposed a self-regulatory organization where industry stakeholders regulate themselves. We've proposed a national transportation self-regulatory organization, the TNSRO.
Get that acronym.
Right.
Yep.
And you know, it's a very long document, and in that document we've created a board of governors made up of brokers, carriers, owner-operators, insurance companies, every industry stakeholder, shippers, receivers, every industry stakeholder, factoring, and basically we regulate ourselves. And we work in conjunction with the FMCSA, but all of those rules, those financial matters that the FMCSA doesn't want to deal with, we take that over through a self-regulatory organization, and we let the FMCSA continue to regulate safety. And the beautiful thing about a self-regulatory organization is it's self-funded. So it saves the taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars that's currently going to the FMCSA's budget. So it's self-funded.
No, that's very interesting, man. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, you and I usually don't get a time to sit down like this. So, you know, is there anything at the very end that you would like to let all the truck drivers know, or any information like that? Because I want you to be able to, you know, speak about everything that you feel is big for all the truckers, you know, listening and watching out there.
Absolutely, man. First of all, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got a beautiful setup. Everything here is nice. I'd like to say, you know, Alex, you and we had a nice conversation before the show started.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really do appreciate you. I know that you love trucking. This is in your heart, and you do this from the heart. And, you know, I appreciate you. And no matter what happens on social media, man, please always remember that we love you and we appreciate everything you do for the trucking industry.
No, I appreciate that.
You're gonna see things on social media.
Hey, good thing I can't read.
That's that's social media, man. You know, they attack everybody. They throw up posts, and sometimes somebody will throw, even me, I would throw something up there, and it'll be misunderstood, or it'll be taken as a nasty thing or whatever. You know, that's the reason why we have phones and phone numbers.
Oh yeah.
You know, call me up. I'll call you up. You know,
yeah.
We'll clear it up. But I love you and I appreciate you, and all of our members do too. By the way,
no, I appreciate.
You know
that.
what I mean? Like you know, it's incredible how great of a platform you built. And, you know, I respect you, and I respect what you do, and, you know, keep doing it, man. And, you know, to all of our members out there, you know, we're not going to give up. You know, we're here today at this truck show. It's beautiful. If you are able to get down here, thank you for coming. We're going to be down here again tomorrow, and we're going to be at Matt's too, by the way.
There it is. What's the booth number? You know?
Man, yo, they booth numbers are like 27 digits. I don't remember. It's 67985 something.
Man,
but
you sending them to the wrong. Man, you just sent them to the ATA, bro.
No, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there.
I got a question for both of you.
Oh yeah.
I agree with you that in the industry, you know, taking lower rates and all of that stuff definitely hurts the industry. It's definitely no good. But doesn't it present the question of those guys that are taking those rates? It's probably because that's that's available to them. They bought trucks too. They're trying to make it in the industry, trying to make it grow at it. So if they don't take those routes, isn't it the same as them saying, like kind of surrendering, saying, hey, I can't get the better work, so I just have to give up? You know what I mean?
That's a good question, man, and thank you for asking that. I'm going to say something that I haven't had the chance to say publicly, and I'm glad Alex has given me the opportunity here to do this. You know, there really needs to be some looking into who actually makes up the transportation industry, the supply chain at that level. The supply chain, the truckers, the owner-operators are broken down into certain levels. And there is a level of this industry that is really, really, like, low on the totem pole, right? These people have come to this country under the guise of, there's jobs for them here. They've been given visas to come here, and they've been sucked in by predator carriers that some of them even get them into lease agreements.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's one company that brings in people from Ecuador, and they trick them into these shady lease agreements. They don't speak English very well. They don't understand the United States, and these guys end up living in these trucks, making such little money that these trucks become their home, and they're trapped here. And this is happening all over the place. You know, you got guys that are like we said, just don't understand how the trucking industry works. They got in here during COVID, and they're trying to hang on. I got multiple people doing that. They've got these trucks at these rates that were insane. Trailers, a trailer back in 2018 that I could have got for $8,000. They bought it for $30,000, $40,000 on a loan. I seen them going for $80,000. You know what I mean? And I'm asking myself, who's buying these things? People that don't know any better. And someone needs to investigate that. You know what I mean? These are the people that are doing these loads for $1 a mile, $1.25 a mile. And the carrier could still make money at that point because he's paying this guy nothing. $200 a week, and he's giving him a home to live in the truck. And there's thousands of them all over this country operating just like that. That's what they really need to look into. All these people that are coming over here from all these other countries, getting CDLs under these visitor visas and messing up the supply chain.
Nah, man.
And we found that there is it's like a black market of these people. There's thousands of them here. You know what I mean? And these are the people that these guys are getting to do these loads for. And it may not be direct. It may not be an owner-operator. It could be a carrier on the load board grabbing that load, giving it to that guy. We've seen that. So, yeah.
That was a very good question, man. Nah, man. Nah. I hope, you got to tell everybody everything that you want to tell them because, I want people to understand that, it is very frustrating. And right now, people are very frustrated that they can't figure out why would our government allow us to suffer through all this pain as much. You know what I mean? It's truckers is, I would say, the trucking industry is almost one of the only industries where people are just fighting to actually go to work. Ain't that some craziness?
Yeah, man. It's like we can't make it a place where everybody wins. That people are some people are, that's the way this country is. That's the American way. Not everybody's gonna win. We don't you can't get a participation trophy or just winning for showing up. People are supposed to fail. Okay? But when you start seeing people failing at such a massive level, you have to ask yourself, why did that happen, and what is the fallout gonna be from that? We're seeing that now. I can buy this truck for $10,000. You know what I mean? We're seeing that now. Equipment is on sale. If you got a few $1,000s, you can get a truck that would have cost you, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 5 years ago. You can get that truck right now for $15,000. So we have to ask ourselves, what is the outcome going to be? Where are these people going that are losing these authorities? What businesses are they turning to? Are they turning to businesses? Are they sitting home? Are they unemployed? What are they doing? We lost last quarter alone, 9,000 authorities went out of business, went under. Just last quarter. Last year, the whole year, over 100,000 people closed up shop. Nobody's asking, where are these people? Where did all these trucks go? Where did all these trailers go? We just don't care? Is that it?
Because they're worried about safety right now.
Well, based on insurance numbers, it's still unsafe out there. You know what I mean? Like, you can enact all the rules. Speed limiters aren't going to make the roads safer. It's going to make the roads more unsafe.
I agree
so,
with that.
why are you doing this? Why are you committing so much valuable resources to issues that do not matter?
It does to
and
the
every
mega
day,
fleet.
this is what we see.
When-
it's like
But if you follow
another one.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense.
Nah, but if you follow the money, and you really follow the money, because if I'm big money, and someone small is hurting my money, then I will make sure there will be some rule to make sure that they can't hurt my money no more. And that's what they do.
Alex, you're right.
I mean, there's a reason why the OOIDA, and I love them over there too, haven't made a dent yet. It's because the other guys got more money. But I'm not saying
Alex,
for us to be a loss here. I'm just keeping it real. But we need to do what you can do.
You
Don't take cheap freight.
You're a very skilled journalist. I'll tell you that right now. You leading me down the road.
No,
I
never
respect that.
No, never that.
I'm not gonna touch your OIDA.
No, I didn't say that.
No,
I didn't say that.
I'm not
Hey,
gonna touch it.
hey,
Dark money or nothing like
No,
that.
no,
Because
no,
I
no.
just can't. I do not have direct knowledge of that. I wish I did, but I don't. I can only suspect.
Yeah, and again,
And I'll tell you, it does kind of look like that.
and that's why I'm saying, and that leads to, I'm just a dumb dude. Allegedly.
Yeah, man.
We just talking. This is a fictional
But
story.
you make a good point though. Like if you take TIA, right?
Right.
Here's an association that hasn't been around as long as OIDA. They have about 1,600 members,
Right.
and they seem to have more political power
Right.
than OIDA, who's been around for over 50 years, and they've got
Yeah.
150,000 members.
Well, here's the thing. Let's start looking at gross revenue. Companies, even companies that take like Convoy, I mean, Microsoft, Bill Gates were throwing almost billions of dollars at this thing. Mm-hmm. The real number was about 900 million or something like that. You know what I mean? And they still went broke. So if you really look at it, the person that makes money in the truck industry don't even drive the truck. And we know that. And so the big boys and girls that are on the freight broker side with their tech, with their unicorn companies, there's big money on that side. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, yo, brother,
you know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
you have to ask yourself, why is this allowed to happen? When you start putting it all together, it does look really shady. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to point fingers at anyone because you want to believe that you do not operate in an industry that allows something like that to happen. But the truth of the matter is, you do.
Well, and
you operate in an industry where this man that owns this truck,
right,
who has so much invested in this business,
right,
makes the least on a load.
Of course.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I'm going to tell you, okay, but, let's talk big business for a second. All right. For people that don't know, I own a t-shirt business. If I want to sell to a little truck stop, they might give me my price. But if I want to sell to Walmart all across America, Walmart will say, yeah, I want your shirts, but I want them for $3. Mm-hmm. But sir, it cost me $5 to make the shirts. Mm-hmm. Well, you want to be in Walmart? I want them for $3. So here's the truth. Big carriers, they're the ones that grab the Publix. They're the ones that grab the Costco. They're the ones that grab the Walmart lanes. You really think Walmart is giving them top dollar? They are giving them a price that any owner-operator will go broke if they took it. But if you own 20,000 trucks, I guarantee you right now, Warner is probably making $30 per lane per load off truck. But when you multiply that by 10,000 trucks a day, they still making money. Mm-hmm. So they're working off of volume. And it's something that, to be honest, as an owner-operator, you wouldn't want that load anyways.
He just told me that. I went over to the Walmart booth and I started
did
talking.
he?
Yeah, and I said, yo, man, let's do business. And he said, we ain't looking at you unless you got 50 trucks or more.
Yeah, because
And I handed him my business card, and he said, oh, okay, we're going to talk.
Oh, okay.
But I said, you're not going to pull those shenanigans on me. You know what I mean? Like, our members want real loads. You know what I mean? And he said, we're going to talk. And
you will see.
We'll see.
And you'll see,
but
and
you're
hopefully it
totally
goes well.
right. You're totally right. Those big boys, they do those loads for a lot less money.
Because if I'm Walmart,
Yeah, well, it's business.
I want it. Hey, everybody want. Hey, here's the thing: when everybody wants you, they gonna want you at your price.
Right.
And my price is, I want your stuff for cheap. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, hey, look, it's one of those things where we're here. I truly believe this man and the organization and the community is fighting the good fight. But just understand that you yourself have to put your power in your own hands too, and operate in a way where you're making money and not losing money. And if enough people do that, rates will go back up.
They got to speak out.
They do.
I agree. You know what I mean? Like, we need unity.
Yeah.
And people tend to take that. People tend to take that when we say that. People tend to take it lightly. Regardless of what association you become a member of, become a member. You don't have to be a member of NOAA. You could go join any association, but you got to speak out, because what we're starting to see is we're all coming together anyway.
Hey.
We've created an alliance of associations that people don't even know about. They may be a member of an association that's part of our alliance. We have an alliance of associations that we've incorporated. We all work on the same issues.
Right. No, and you guys do, and that's the thing. Like when Todd Spencer, his people give me info all day, and then I talk about it. Anyone that gives me info, I talk about it, and I think everybody's just trying to be better. I use OIDA as an example because they're so big, but why are things still moving slow?
Can I ask you a favor?
Yeah, sure.
And I know I ask you a lot.
No, that's good.
I feel like I'm like your little brother, always coming to you
never
for a
that,
favor.
never that.
When you speak to Todd, ask him why he sent me that email back in September telling me to call him, and then asking for my phone number, and he never called me. I thought it was kind of weird. It was a little cryptic, but and I tried to contact him back, and he said he never heard back from me. But if you do speak to him, could you ask him why he sent me that email asking for my phone number and for me to call him? Because I sent it to him and he never reached out.
He's a really nice guy. His thing is when I text him, he don't get back to me 7 days later too.
Yeah, well, he never got back to me.
Yeah, his guy Louis, that dude gets back to me
Louis
right
Pugh?
away. Yeah.
I actually don't know Louis. I tried. I don't think well, maybe once I might have tried to speak out to reach out to Louis, but I never met him. He seems like a nice guy.
No, he's cool. He's cool.
I have no problems with those guys over at OI.
Why you guys? I don't know if you guys agreed on everything.
No, we don't agree on pretty much anything, but we agree on transparency. We agree on speed limiters, but I think what we have disagreement in is the way that we approach advocacy. They seem to think that certain issues need to take 50 years to get attention, and we don't feel that way. We think that there is nothing more important than an issue that affects a truck driver. This nation, truck drivers are the lifeblood of this nation. We're the arteries that keep this nation moving. We are the blood in those arteries, and those arteries, that is the roads of this country. We deliver the precious freight in these trucks that Americans use every day to take care of their families and stay alive. There is no issue more important than an issue affecting truckers.
No, I agree.
And we feel that an organization that's been around for over a decade should know that and should have rammed that down the throats of every person in Washington already. There is no reason why an association like TIA with 1,600 members should have more power than OIDA. No reason. And if OIDA was doing that, there would be no need for NOAA.
I honestly think all the people at top is just blocking all y'all.
Well, once again, you said it. I won't say that.
No, I'm not.
Because I know the backlash I'll get if I. But
I don't.
You know,
I actually don't know none of them over there.
Brother.
But,
we've.
But you guys are fighting and that's the thing is you guys are fighting the good fight.
What you just said, we've seen.
And I'm just seeing from a person looking out, looking in, looking out. I mean, a lot of people have been knocking on the door, and rules that are in place and regulated, or supposedly regulated, aren't even regulated.
And it would seem to me that it would be a monumental task to regulate every lease agreement in the country. Like, how would you even start that? How would you even create a set of rules that would be the rules of the road between a guy walking off the street into a carrier that wants to lease a truck from them? How would you create the rules of the road for that? And why? Why would you do that? Why would you spend so much resources on doing something like that, which we all know you will never accomplish, when you have a rule that's sitting there and you're just ignoring it? 49 CFR 371.3.
Well, I mean, is honest. I mean, let me show you what I got over here while I'm doing what I want over there. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but it's one of those things where it's just truck drivers, you just got to really know, man. You need to know your numbers. You can't just call yourself an entrepreneur because you want to be an entrepreneur, man. You got to really make some big business decisions, and you can't just because you're a great driver doesn't make you a good businessman or woman. You know what I mean? You got to educate yourself and specialize, because I'll tell you right now, people that are specializing, they still making money. You know what I mean? But it sucks, man, because rates are down, stuff is down, and but hopefully you got everything you wanted to cover on today. It's very rare.
One more thing,
go ahead.
if I can.
No, of course.
If you have an issue with a broker who, and you want transparency, you want to see that rate, you want to see what that broker got paid from that shipper, especially if the broker's not paying you, if you put a freight guard on you, or whatever the case may be, contact the FMCSA and file a formal complaint and get the complaint number. You have to do it on the FMCSA website through the household goods section. Like as if you're a moving company, you have to do it. It's a little confusing because they intentionally made it that way, but you have to do it that way. You go to the household goods section and you file a complaint asking for the documents under the rule, 49 CFR 371.3. Continue to do that and make sure you record the complaint number. So when you call them up, they can pull your complaint and give you the status of it. If you do not know how to do this, you can always contact us and we can help you do it. We can walk you through it. Our website is www.tnooa.com. Or you can contact info@tnooa.com and we'll walk you through it. But it is important for people to use that right that they have to file a complaint with the FMCSA to get transparency on a load. That is your right. As of today, that rule is supposed to be enforced.
I love it, man. No, I appreciate you. Thanks for joining the show.
My brother.
No, we're good, man. Yeah. That's perfect.